it's Waterfall's an interesting. I'm glad you asked. Waterfall's an interesting format where basically instead of playing each other, at least like in pools, what you do is that you have like an individual at least like pool, and then you play each other according to your approximate groupings based on your records. So after the first match, then a 1-1 person, a 1-0 person will face against another 1-0 person, and if you win 3 matches in total, then you make it out at least in Waterfall. And depending on where you are or your initial record in the Waterfall, that will determine the eventual phase you get out in. And then different people will get out in different phases and possibly skip some entire phases of the tournament. So if you're basically the number 1 in your Waterfall pool, then you might get to go into all the way into phase 1. If you might be like 3-1 or 3-2, you might go into phase 2, and then if you might go like 3-3 or something like that, then you would be as part of like the bottom, at least like a tier, or the bottom like like a stage. And then, well, it's all about also like even if you're not necessarily like at the top level, like theoretically, if you would have normally originally like made it out of pools, then you can make it out of pools regardless. No big change, no big deal. The thing though is that for a lot of people, at least like who don't get to play a lot of sets, they get to play a lot more sets in addition to the fact that there's an amateur bracket. But we got Kit, we got Bacon's going at it, and we got Ken, and we have Corrin. I have my own thoughts on Ken. I think that I do agree, so that this is not really the best matchup, but Kit not making it look like that by any means. Ken can't just kill at 0. The question is, at least, like, would Corrin let him even, like, get in the first place? The range on that forward smash was, according to Stiggy, is the worst forward smash in the game. Which I could see. It's not the best. Like, the charge is the best thing. And that's saying something. That is a down tilt. That is the Hadouken. It's going to put on a little bit of damage. And Kit almost working on a 3-stock. Bacon's trying to go for it all with that upbeat and trying to kill at the top, but not quite going to do it just yet. Dashing, not quite going to get it. Proxy jab. And the medium Shoryu's going to take it. Interesting. A little bit of showy stuff coming out from Kit. I haven't seen medium Shoryu be a thing, I think, since the early, like, pre-4.0 days of Smash. Just because Ken, I remember at that point, his moves just did not work. They didn't link into one another, so the thing that you really need to hope for was just, like, connecting from one and then having at least the increased knockback, at least from the medium Shoryu, only hitting 2 hits. But now we're switching to the Pyro method. Again, a little bit of a tricky matchup, at least, like, for Kit, but the question is Bacon's going to let, like, Kit jump in for free and get those, like, combos. Right now, just Kit, happy to see, take a little bit of that damage. Just a little bit of those down tilts, get those Hadoukens out. Just a little bit of damage here and there is going to go a long way because, you really have to rely on the Pyro, at least if you want to get, like, that, like, early percent or that really cheesy kill. But proxy jab into Shoryu is definitely going to take the stock at that point. That Nair block is such a good confirm, both for Ken and for Ryu. That's just... It is also why Jazzo, I believe, is known as, or his production company is, no, iGreg's production company is called Ken Nair Productions. For all of his TikTok needs, which, by the way, follow them because his TikToks are way hilarious. If you ever want some good Smash content that isn't just, we're going to try and do X and Y challenge on Elite Smash, or we're going to try and do World of Light, but only Nuzlocked. Pretty fun things. Shoryu is going to get back. That Nair not going to be getting killed, but yeah, and Ken Nair into dash up proxy is going to kill at this point. And especially with so much rage. Pirate there. Not getting star spots, so this is not going to kill. That Nair will definitely kill at that point. Now you see Bacon's just sticking to the Pyro. I do kind of like that, just because, like, if you can rely a little bit more on, like, the heavy neutral and not necessarily the, the heavy punish game, like, you can really just, like, get so much damage with Pyro. And I've seen, like, there's a bunch of, like, like, big players, at least, that really use Pyro. I know that Tickle, I believe, in Canada uses Pyro. We also had recently Robin, at least at Smash Summit, who also uses Pyro. And this Pyro is actually doing work. It's just going to take the second stock from Kit and not losing their own. Nair is going to be sitting off the side, but not the ground and air, so it's not going to be so hitting. Proxy jab, sure, you not quite gonna connect. And now you see just Bacon's gonna get a few more hits, but that Shoryu is definitely gonna take that stock at that point. And you see that it's not even just like, you know, trying to, you know, live for a little bit longer. It's not just the survivability, but Bacon's is sticking with the Pyro Mithra. And I do like this decision, at least for a little bit. You're not the most confident, at least like in the Mithra combos, and especially like with moving around with Mithra, you should use it. But sometimes you just gotta use the frame data, you gotta use a little speed. It's something I like a little bit, where a lot of players just tend to think of, like, you know, Pyro Mithra as be like, Mithra, you get the damage. Pyra, you get the kill. The bigger thing should also be just like, you know, can you use them appropriately in advantage and disadvantage? Because they can be very, very good in those situations. But that Shoryu is going to be taking it. Ken Shoryu just like, you never see it coming, and then it's just, it just kills just out of nowhere.